Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be reviewing a watch called FK88. If you're new to this, I'm just going to quickly explain. FK88 is basically a clone of Apple Watch 6. They look very much similar and they've got pretty much similar colors and all those things, and today we're going to be unboxing them. Before I do that though, I just want to say Happy New Year to you all, and I hope you are going to have a much better year than we had in 2020. I wish you all the best. The first thing you'll see is it's quite striking actually. The packaging itself is pretty decent. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull those two tabs and look at that. That just looks amazing, doesn't it? The box inside looks really good. It's nice and hard box. But before I'll say too much, too many good things about this watch, I'll mention just in case that I was not impressed with the watch. So watch till the end and you'll find out why I was not impressed and why I've made up my opinion on that. So inside you'll find the watch itself, obviously. Being a clone of Apple Watch 6, you'll find a good variety of colors, things like the colors like gold, silver, you'll find a rose gold and black and blue and red. So the blue and red are the best indicators that you've got an Apple Watch 6 basically. So in this little compartment here, which is like an additional compartment, you'll find a user manual, which is both in Chinese and English. And inside there, you'll find a silicone strap. And I've ordered a version with two straps, and the second strap looks like that. So it's got like a little Velcro on the inside, and it's very soft, and it's like a synthetic, which I quite actually enjoyed. The straps are really good. Right, so first thing first, let me throw some of the figures of this watch at you. The chipset inside of the watch is MTK2502C, whatever that means, so if you're into that, you know that by now. There are two Bluetooth modules inside of this watch, Bluetooth 4.0 and 3.0. They do work alright. They're not the best ever, but they do work. The watch comes with an water rating, which is like water resistant rating, which is IP67. I managed to find it in a small font at the back of the watch. So I wouldn't take it for a swim into a swimming pool, but usual things like when you do your dishes or when you wash your hands, an occasional splash wouldn't really make much of a difference to this watch. The resolution, so this display is 1.78 inches across with a resolution of 320 pixels by 385 pixels. For those of you who follow my channel, you will know that in the previous video where I reviewed a DT93, which I've been wearing for almost a month now, the resolution on these is by 100 more in each direction than it is on FK88. This is definitely not an AMOLED matrix, it's an LCD display. Inside of the watch you'll find the battery, which is 220 milliamp battery. And unfortunately, this is the biggest downside of this watch, I believe, because the battery will only last you from 1 to 2 days with the normal use. The battery is charged by a semi-wireless charger, which looks like that. So all you have to do is you just place it on the table, you connect it to your USB hub, and then you just place your watch on and the charger comes on. It takes about 2 hours to fully charge the watch. The app that you're going to be using on your phone is called FitFly, and I will be talking about the app later on. There's not much to say about the app, and you'll see why. The watch comes with pre-installed 20 watch faces, but the watch faces, a sort of pre-installed watch face library sort of expands a little bit. So when you come across watch faces like that, if you tap the screen, you can actually change the watch face on its own. So like things like that. So you can tap, and one watch face will have a multiple settings, like multiple versions of itself, so you can have different colors of the numbers. Not all of them are changeable, but some of them are. On the front you've got a this is like a scratch resistant glass, so that's pretty good. That hasn't been actually scratched in the 2 weeks I've been using this watch. The body of the watch is all aluminium. The back of the watch is made out of solid glass, so all of your sensors and everything is actually hidden underneath that glass. So that's pretty good, that's pretty decent. And this is where you got all your sensors, like your heart rate sensor, your blood oxygen sensor, and your blood pressure sensor. On the right side, you've got two physical buttons that actually do work. This is the main button to turn your watch on or off, and also the button that takes you back from your like sub menus back to your original main screen. The crown is fully functional crown, so you can press it and you can rotate it, so it works pretty good as well. This is where this little hole, this is where your microphone is hidden, and on the left side you've got your speaker grill. If you shine the light just right, you can see that the top slit is fake. There is no opening there, so all your sound is going to be coming from the bottom slit. I don't have the option of actually showing you how the microphone and the speaker works due to the lack of funds. Unfortunately, I can't afford to buy an extra camera, which I really need to sort of film all these things, and all I have at the minute is just one phone, which I'm using to record these reviews. But if you take my word, the microphone and the speaker are actually really good. When we tested them, the quality of the conversation that I've heard and the person I was ringing they heard was really good. We were fairly impressed. We thought that we actually used phones only, and the other person didn't think that I was ringing from the watch, sort of thing. But yeah, that's just one of those things. So the watch, the outer look looks really good. There are minor issues with this design, and I will mention them right at the end of the video when I'm going to be summarizing my thoughts about this product. So what I want to do now is I'm going to jump into the menus, and I'm going to show you what to expect. So from main screen, if you scroll from top to bottom, that gives you like a semi-quick access to all of the things. So for instance, you can find your phone, you can manipulate your display, you can change your brightness, you can choose how long your screen is going to stay on, and all those things. You can change language within the watch itself, and there are fairly few languages which you will see in the app later on. And if we scroll back, you can set an alarm. There are several options that you can access from the watch itself. You can choose a timer, a stopwatch. What else we got? And that's basically it. But yeah, then if you scroll from bottom to top, that gives you a quick access to like things that you want to be turning on and off on a regular basis. So the first icon, you can see the watch itself, and that's basically your option for the display to come on when you lift your wrist. So if you don't want that option, you leave it as it is. If you want for your screen to be turned on when the wrist is turned, you put the option on. And also, if you don't want to be disturbed, you just put this little bell icon on. So that means that all of the notifications, phone calls and everything else will be stopped, so you're not going to get disturbed. This watch comes with two menu styles. So one like this, which you probably have seen from a different reviews. And also if you go back and if you turn that on, now your menu is going to look like that, which is pretty much like an Apple Watch bubble menu. But because of the process and all those things, the animation is very laggy, and I don't think you're going to be using this type of menu if you're still gonna want to buy this watch. And then if we scroll further, in order to use your watch with your phone, so things like controlling your music, receiving or ringing people, like receiving phone calls and text messages and all those things, you need to turn the Bluetooth module on, and that's done with this icon here. My phone is disconnected with this watch at the minute for purposes of recording this video, but you're gonna have to turn this Bluetooth module at regular basis. So if you want to ring someone, you're just gonna have to connect it. Bear in mind that when this Bluetooth module is connected, it's draining your battery quicker, so that's what basically makes this watch sort of last as long as it does, so 1 to 2 days. And down here you've got this battery icon. If you click that, you can choose between 3 different battery saving modes. So if you want to save your battery, there is an option to do so. Then if we go from right to left, you've got your quick info about how many steps you've done, how many calories you've burned, and all those things. You can do your heart measuring, so you have to go into the option, you have to press on it. I'll place it on my wrist. It takes a few seconds for a reading to be taken. In my opinion, the heart rate sensor, the blood oxygen sensor and all those things are not very accurate on the watch itself, so I wouldn't really trust those. The music control is fairly straightforward and it's basic, so you can skip your tracks, you can play and pause, you can control the volume as well. Then if you scroll from left to right, this takes you to your very main menu. So you can use your crown to scroll through the menu if you wanted to. The first thing we come across is messaging. You can call people if you know their numbers of your head. The phone book, if the watch is connected via Bluetooth to your phone, the phone book will show all the contacts from your phone. Same will apply for call logs. You'll be able to see people that you've rang recently. This is where you can control your Bluetooth connectivity. You also got a pedometer, which shows basic information about how many steps you've done per day. You've got two fitness, like you've got a Pilates, you've got a fitness, and these are like miniature sort of classes that you can take. So you press the first icon, the countdown starts, and then what you have to do is you have to hard concentrate really hard on this tiny screen and see what the person on the screen does, and basically follow their moves. And once you've done the first countdown is gone, it will switch to the second exercise and third exercise and so on. So you can, if that's something that rocks your boat, you can do these exercises. But I just find it really not that comfortable because you're gonna have to place the watch basically either on the table or somewhere, or constantly have your wrist like that, which is impossible because on the first exercise it shows that you have to sort of move your arms sideways, and just not my thing. I don't think it should have been on here anyway. So then you got your sleep tracking, you've got your weather. Weather is very simple and straightforward. It just shows the weather for one day, no extension to the weather. It's got few sport modes which you can choose. Once again, you can scroll through using your crown. Heart rate, you've got your blood pressure, you've got your oxygen. Bluetooth music, you can set your alarms, you can choose different alarms. You've got your stopwatch, all straightforward, usual stuff, nothing very impressive. You've got your display. This is where you can choose different brightness, how long your screen is going to stay on. So you can control the sound, you can choose different ringtones for incoming phone calls or text messages. You can also control the volume of all those things, so you can control how loud the speaker will get. And we can just hear how loud the speaker gets. And this is basically it. So what we'll do now is we'll jump into the app. I'll show you what the app looks like, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to summarize the thoughts about this watch. All right, so the app you're going to be using to connect obviously the watch to your phone is called FitFly. So let's just jump in and have a look. So the first page shows you very basic information. So things like how many steps you've done per day, or you can watch the history. Same goes for sports. So you can see what you've done. Sort of how many miles you run recently. You can see your sleep tracking. You can see the history of your heart rate tracking and all those things. And then if we skip to the second menu, you can see that our watch is connected. The watch is currently being charged, so the charge is going to be jumping up and down. I don't understand why even the representation of the watch itself is different. It just looks a bit odd. But anyway, so the things you can do in the second sub-menu is you can control things like sort of move your wrist to wake your screen. So raise bright is called in here. And that basically allows you to turn on and off the option. When you raise your wrist, the screen will either come on automatically or it will not. You can change the language, and these are the languages that are available, so you can change them to your preference, and the watch will be translated into your language of your preference. You can set an alarm clock. You can add several alarm clocks from here. You can turn on the reminder to stand up and take a few steps. If you find yourself sitting too much per day, you can set your sleeping pattern, so you can tell your watch at what time you usually go to bed and what time you usually wake up, so it can be a bit more accurate. You can set your goal, and you've got some additional watch faces. So if we skip down here, you only get 5 additional watch faces. This is a major disappointment, because when I was watching reviews of other YouTubers, they were on about how many watch faces FK88's got and all those things, but in reality you only get 5 additional watch faces, and to be honest with you, they are rubbish. You don't want to be using them anyway. And the only other option is you can create your own watch face if you wanted to, but I'm not a huge fan of that. You can find your device, and if you scroll to the 3rd option, which says Me, this is where you can hopelessly try to update your version to something better, but that doesn't work because there will be no update to this software. And I thought that the Fan Duo app, which is used to connect most of the Chinese smartwatches, was rubbish, but I think I've just found a new winner, the new leader of a rubbish chart, and I think the FitFly is absolutely hopeless. It's really not up to task. You won't be able to use it very frequently, and as a result I think it's just an utterly rubbish, to be honest with you. Right, so now that you've seen the app, this is how the watch looks on the wrist. I mean, from the side it does look like an Apple Watch 6, which is pretty much the reason why people actually buy these things. This is them compared to DT93. By the way, if that's something you wanted to, I could do a comparison of 2 together in one video, if that's something that you want to see. Comment down below and let me know if you want to see this video. So, my thoughts on this watch. The straps that come with the watch are very good. The first downside is the actual design of the watch, because it doesn't have those release buttons that the original watch has. That means that over the time your straps are going to become looser, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that will stop them from sliding away. And occasionally you'll find yourself wearing a watch like that, so the strap just starts to sort of poke through one side. The other negative would be the way you control your watch faces. So from the main screen, so for instance, I like this watch face and everything sort of suits me, and I wish to keep this watch face, but what happens is when you sometimes move your wrist, because where the button, the crown is, it accidentally rotates, and you find yourself wearing a watch with a completely different watch face throughout the day, which becomes really annoying. And then the other thing to mention about the watch faces is, for instance, let's say I like this watch face, I want to keep it, but if you don't press hard enough, did you see that? It's just on the point of scrolling the screen, I've actually changed the watch face, so then I have to manually go back and change it to the watch face that I prefer. And that gets really annoying. I don't understand why they've made this option. I think the main screen watch face shouldn't be changed like that. And the other thing to mention is when you connect your Bluetooth and you control your music through your watch, what happens then is when you want to watch YouTube on your phone, if your watch is connected and you're not going to be using headphones, all of the sound goes from your phone to your watch at all the times, and that's really annoying. And that means that you're gonna have to either go back to your menu in your watch and disconnect the Bluetooth, and then go back to your phone and watch your YouTube and listen to the music from your phone. It's just really, really, really annoying. My overall thoughts, I don't think you should be wasting your time and money, although they do look good. The build quality is excellent and all those things, but I would only buy this watch for a pure purpose, if you want to just like an Apple Watch to show off, but you don't want to spend an Apple Watch money. As the watch themselves, they are pretty rubbish. The pedometer is rubbish because it counts thousands and tens of thousands of steps per day, even if you barely move. Same goes for the sensors. Sensors are rubbish. I don't like the way the watch faces are controlled. The app is rubbish as well. I don't think I've ever seen an app that is as rubbish as that. The screen is good, the speaker is good, the microphone is good, the potential is there, but they managed to mess it up. So those are my thoughts. I don't think you should be spending your money. Don't buy this watch. Just buy something else, but not this watch. So anyway, guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If I've missed anything, don't hesitate to comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions as soon as I can. And like I said, if you want to see the comparison of 2, so DT93 and the FK88, also leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to film that for you as well. So yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.